speaking out other interior designs, if you look at the floorboard over here, you get that sound of the road coming up, because there's this nice little gap that kind of protrudes, that kind of opens up and has this little gap on the side.
That is not. They're not funneling in engine sound through that.
Yeah, and it's just that natural.
It's a rust hole.
Hi, I'm Ryan Feltz, and we're here in the home of the Jeep, the beautiful Motor City, Detroit, Michigan. And I'm here with a Jeep fan, David Tracy, staff writer at Jalopnik, my colleague, and he's here to show off his first Jeep that he just bought last week, a Jeep Cherokee.
I've had this for a while.
Yeah, no, I understand.
And the whole Jeep is Toledo.
Today we're here to talk about the Jeep. And we're here to talk about David's Jeep Cherokee, which was introduced in 1996 as a first compact car, kind of as a response to some of the other competitors in the Motor City. And David was really excited to talk about this just because he's been eager, dying to get a Jeep, and now let's just go. Can you?
But that's just not true. It was 84. But keep going. Whatever.
I wanted to highlight something, if you don't mind coming over here first, just that I saw earlier, and I didn't know if we could just talk a little bit about this, just because there's a lot of tape, sort of looking, around. If we were to swing around to the other side, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, this was a design choice by Susie Jeep, the Jeep founder's wife.
My friends just put that on there.
But you see, your friend must be a Jeep fan. And he must have known what Susie Jeep wanted here. Interestingly enough, is that Susie thought it would just add like a nice little offsetting decor. Like if you're standing from here, you're like, that's the Jeep Cherokee.
Well, there's nobody.
So then if you come around this way, too, I just want to just point this out as well. There's a lot of features of the Jeep Cherokee that focus on tape. So you see here, they really thought hard about this during the prototype phase. And it was kind of a really controversial decision because no one really expected tape on handles before. The Jeep Cherokee 96, when it was introduced, this was the first time that the Jeep had a door that just swung open as wide as this. Is it unlocked? But like, look at this. Without that tape holding it down, gosh, really heavy. Have you tried this yet since you bought this last week?
I've had it for a long time.
I think it's interesting to see that, what they pulled off in making something that was a compact city car that you could really, use with ease getting around downtown Detroit. And then you swing up after work, come back up into Troy, Michigan, and then you have your backyard where you can do your off-roading.
It's not a city
car,
right?
Should we do a test ride? David's yet to take this out for a ride yet.
No,
so I think
I've had it
really
for 2 years.
So let's, do you mind if I drive? Okay, cool. So I think what's interesting about being up in Rochester is it's where Susie and Stu Jeep first settled down after they had worked with Ford on developing the earliest Jeep back in the day.
Well, you're not far off. In the early 40s, Ford and Willys worked together on the early World War II Jeeps. So you're not far off.
Right. So they worked on the Jeeps, and Susie just felt like she needed to get out of the city. And Stu agreed because, Stu set out, and after building the first Jeep prototype with Henry Ford, they made their way up here. And I think it's a special moment that we get to
what about Henry
share
Ford?
This. He and Stu, they met while over in Europe.
These aren't actual humans, man.
And I don't know why you're getting frustrated, because I think it's a very special
I'm not
moment.
getting frustrated. I just want to be accurate here.
So they were developing the first Jeep city car, and they called it the Jeep Mini. And it was great in Detroit because Detroit was booming. There was a couple million people living there at that point. It was kind of like easy to work your way around. So they developed the Jeep Mini, and then over time they started realizing that the Jeeps could do more than a city car. Be just, a little small city car. It could really, has some oomph to it. They finally got this thing to push, get more than 300 horsepower out of it, which I thought was, I personally thought that was just like a stunning achievement at the time.
It was 190 horsepower. They couldn't get 300.
I'm not following, because what they put in here was a V12 as per Stu and Susie's wishes.
They didn't exist. There was never a V12 in a Jeep.
They said they wanted 300 horsepower. They wanted a V12, and so,
Okay, just pull over to this drive. Right here. Just pull over here.
Gonna pull a classic Jeep turn and call it a Ricky. Jeep Ricky.
Look, this crap that you're spewing, it's coming to an end right now, okay? There's no V12 under here. Look at this, okay? There's no V. It's in line. Look, we can even look at spark plugs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's an inline 6. An inline 6. There's 6 cylinders. So you're telling me that this isn't an inline 6?
They wanted a V12. So let's Oh man, you hear that 300 horsepower? Woo!
It's 190.
Cruising. Speaking of other interior designs, if you look at the floorboard over here, you get that sound of the road coming up because there's this nice little gap that kind of protrudes, that kind of opens up and has this little gap on
that
the
is
side.
not. They're
and
not
the air.
funneling in the engine sound through that.
Yeah, and it's just that natural.
It's a rust hole.
It's that natural feeling that you get when you get inside a Jeep, and that's really what they kind of tapped into and figured out.
They didn't do it on
with
purpose.
the Cherokee. We're about to pull up and get a coffee right now, and I think the other standout feature of the Cherokee when it was introduced in 1996 was the door.
Don't even say it. It's broken, okay?
The door.
It's broken.
You have to lift open and push open the door because the windows, while it looks like they're meant to work.
It's because they are supposed to work. Who puts a window switch? That doesn't work on purpose. Nobody does that.
Can I get a coffee, medium size?
You want anything? Blue raspberry slushy.
In a blue raspberry slushy.
Don't want a slushy right now.
No slushies.
I'm out then.
Nah, just the coffee. I'm really, really happy that we got to share this moment, especially, do what Jeep fans like to do, talk about the history of the Jeep. I really appreciate it, man. I think that Jeep fans will look at this moment when two Jeep fans in the hometown of the Jeep.
You are a Jeep fan?
I mean, here we are in the Jeep talking about the Jeep, Stu Jeep, in the home of the Jeep, Detroit, Michigan.
You've been spewing
Here's
just total garbage the whole day. It's none of it's true. None of it's true.
If you listen closely, you can almost hear him say, Jeep, Jeep. But they even got it into the horn. Where you just hear the horn go, Jeep.
We can never do this again.
Put her in park. Congrats. So let's talk a little bit more about the wiring that comes down over here too. And it sort of just makes it seem like, kind of reminds me of just like why they introduced the hole over there.
Can you give it a rev real quick? We're about to overheat here. Just rev the gas a little bit. Temperature should drop a little bit. Fuck. Rev it a little higher to 3,000. Hold it. Actually, that's good. 2,500. Needle should drop.
Oh yeah, this brings me back. Oh, I don't want to overheat in a McDonald's lot.
Here, looks like we're turning the heat on, baby. Woo! It's gonna get hot. Wait, where'd the blower go? Oh, here we go. We will not overheat in this McDonald's parking lot.
Oh.